Hello and welcome to another TBR training video. This video will cover the faculty student exit process. This process will be used for all students who are exiting a program, be they completers or non-completers. This will only focus on the faculty and instructor tasks. It will not cover any of the workflow, student services, or financial aid tasks that will occur once a student has completed and is moving on from the program. As you can see, I am in the portal. One of the options you see here is not currently available to faculty, but will very soon be enabled in the production environment. That is the student exit link. So as I select the student exit link, it will navigate me to the self-service banner page to begin the process. As you can see, the appearance of this page is very similar to the other self-service pages, only with a much smaller number of options. I only have the option to select the student departure for this particular page. I'm navigated to the student departure page and I have a pretty small number of options. I can select and search for a student based upon their S number ID. However, for most of our instructors, it'll probably be more direct to search from this drop-down list, which will populate all students who are registered for that class. So I'm going to pick just the bottom person here to make it simplistic. I'm going to go ahead and select the term that the student is registered for, summer 2019. And some of my information will begin to populate. As you can see, I'm displayed here the instructor name, that's me, the date that this exit form will be populated, and then the student's first and last name, as well as the banner ID. I will then select the major that this student is registered for, and I will populate the rest of the items on the screen. This will tell me how many hours the student has attended for the term, how many they're scheduled for, last date of attendance, basically all the information that may be useful for the instructor as they're filling out this form. The next option I have is to note whether or not this student is a completer or a non-completer. So in this example, I'm going to follow through the completer, and I'm also going to select the highest award. So I'm going to select the diploma award for this particular individual. And then this is actually a free-form text field where the instructor will be indicating to student services what the anticipated award for this particular person is. I do not actually know the Administrative Office Tech highest award off the top of my head, so I'm just going to put Administrative Office Tech as the diploma award. I will then select the departure code. This will indicate why the student is departing, especially if they're a completer, whether or not they've been placed in a related field, basically all the information that is collected in the current paper process. So as you can see, as I hit the drop-down menu, I'm giving many different options. For this particular example, I'm going to use the place in related and follow the happy path here. And as soon as I select place in related, you'll see that these options populate. If I were to select a different set of options, not available for employment, for example, it would not populate the same number of options. But for this example, once again, I'm going to say place in related, and you'll see I am able to fill in the information regarding that student's employer. So please bear with me while I go ahead and key some data into this. This will be the information that the instructor has collected from the student. And if you do notice, all of the fields marked with an asterisk are required for entry. So I've now entered in all of the information that is required. However, if there is a supervisor's name known, then you can enter it here as well. This will allow TBR or other institutions to follow up on that employment status and send the survey to the employers as necessary. And this standard calendar functionality is available. We'll assume they're starting the following Monday, that they are working full-time, and will be working a full 40 hours a week at a decent wage. So once I have all of this information submitted and entered in, I've got all of my asterisk required fields filled in. Then all I have to do is hit submit. This will then submit a workflow and submit items to Student Services and Financial Aid to follow up on that student and make sure that they have everything prepared for their full departure. So I would like to step through one more example very quickly on what this might look like for a non-completer. So I'm going to go back to my drop-down list here. I'm going to select a different student. I'm going to select the term as well. The major will be the same. And I do want to demonstrate that as I select a non-completer, it will drive the options a slightly different way. So for this example, you can say attendance violation, changed objective, and it'll just prompt you to enter in additional info. The only reason you would have to enter in the same employer information if someone has not completed is if there was some placement in a field that would populate the same fields. But for this example, I'm just going to choose the changed objective and then make a note here that this particular student was pursuing other educational goals. So once I submit that, I'm going to go ahead and hit submit here. And that will indicate to Student Services and others that while this student is exiting, they may have attendance, they may have grades, they have not gained any certificates or diplomas, so they have no awards that they're actually going to be receiving, but it will follow up to make sure that student can be exited successfully. So that completes the faculty student exit process. As you can probably see, it is a fairly straightforward process and form. The main things to remember are to ensure that you have all the information available, that you are selecting the student, you're filling in the required fields, and then it should guide you on what you can and cannot enter by the selections you make. So it will be guided essentially by the completer versus non-completer status, and then once you are looking at that, it will allow you to enter in other items, but it will be driven by the logic within these departure codes. So once again, if it's entered military, no notes to make, refused employment, all these options will drive what you do have to fill in. The main ones being if you've placed in related or unrelated, the employer names that you're filling in there. Thank you very much for listening to this training video. Hopefully this will be very useful as you approach the end of the term and you begin exiting students out. If there are any questions, please do not hesitate to contact TVR, and we'll always be happy to help. Thank you, and have a great day.